O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Welcome to this deep dive. Today we are unpacking kind of an esoteric literary analysis of Aleister Crowley's 1912 poem, The Titanic.
Right.
And our mission here is to explore how this infamous occultist completely flipped the script on the world's most famous maritime disaster.
Yeah, because he took this story of tragic hubris and, really transformed it into a manifesto of human defiance.
Exactly. So let's unpack this for you. Most people in 1912 saw the sinking as this grim lesson, like divine punishment for humanity building an unsinkable ship. But Crowley saw it as this epic cosmic car crash between human ambition.
Serpent streak of steel.
Right, slamming into the dumb, inert nature of a brainless barrier of ice. So he wasn't mourning it.
No, not at all. And to understand why, you really have to look at the religious reactions of the era. The catastrophe was widely framed as divine retribution against modern engineering.
God putting humanity in its place.
Exactly. You had these stories of incredible piety being celebrated, like Father Biles refusing a lifeboat to give last rites to passengers. For the Orthodox faithful, it was a moment of pious submission.
But Crowley grew up in a really strict religious household, right?
Yeah, very strict.
So I imagine the idea that a deity would drown 1,000 people just to punish shipbuilders felt... he called it a barbarous absurdity, didn't he?
He did. He had a lifelong disgust for that kind of thinking. So this historical clash logically introduces his own developing philosophy of thelema.
Okay, so what does this all mean then? Was he just being like a contrarian edgelord? Or is there a genuine philosophy behind rejecting all this cultural grief?
Well, what's fascinating here is the actual mechanics of the verse. The poem uses this relentless iambic tetrameter. Think of that rhythm, right? Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum.
Oh, so it literally mimics the mechanical chugging of the ship's engine.
Yes, pushing forward through the dark. And as those engines churn toward destruction, he drops the ultimate subversion in the text. He writes, "A crown of thorns is still a crown."
Wow. Wait, so he takes a universal symbol of passive suffering and turns it into a mark of sovereignty.
Precisely. He argued that catastrophe isn't a reason to submit. It's the crucible that forges a new Prometheus. Suffering becomes the ultimate mark of human sovereignty.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, because that public posturing didn't actually last. Jump ahead in 1923, and Crowley is isolated in Tunis.
Yeah, and heavily addicted to heroin and cocaine at that point.
Right. And he reads this very poem in his diary, and he just breaks down crying. So why does the guy shouting about Promethean defiance suddenly weep over his own words a decade later?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it comes down to Greek gematria, or isopsephy. Basically, in ancient Greek, letters function as numbers. Crowley realized something wild about the ancient spelling of Titan.
Oh, wait, T-E-I-T-A-N.
Exactly. If you add up the numerical value of those specific letters, they sum exactly to 666.
And he famously identified as the beast 666.
He did. So in that lonely room in Tunis, the math clicked. He wasn't just writing about a boat in 1912. He literally saw himself as the doomed Titanic.
Wow.
His entire life was that brilliantly engineered will, constantly battering against the gray gods of societal restriction.
Oh, man. So he was the ship crashing into the ice of the world. That completely changes the scale from a philosophical statement to a deeply tragic autobiography.
It really does, but that raw, rebellious energy survived him.
Yeah, you actually see it decades later in modern pop culture. Like heavy metal bands in the 90s, such as Samael, directly quoted that Crown of Thorns line.
Right, to express their own anti-authoritarian resilience. It shows how potent that defiant imagery remains, and I think it connects directly back to you, the listener.
How so?
Oh. Well, when your own meticulously engineered plans hit an iceberg, do you succumb to the blows of fate, or do you double down on your true will?
I love that. Thinking back to that cosmic car crash between human ambition and the brainless barrier of ice. If tragedy is just the necessary friction required to awaken a stronger human spirit, what current disaster in your life is actually just the universe clearing the path for your own taller triumph?